Hello, welcome to Leon's Lessons. Where we left off last time was with a list, and you had taken a piece of paper and divided it into 3 columns. Put down your feelings that you had when you interacted or spoke with people, friends, family, and others. And then you took a separate piece of paper, same 3 columns, and wrote down what you would like the experience to be, the feelings you would like to have in those interactions and conversations. Now you have your lists, and so now we're going to go on how to implement that information in a new way. You've been taught to do, and you've been taught to everything you've been taught is from doing. Do this and do that. And even simple things or complicated things like love. You've been told what to do, but we've never been taught on our feelings. How do we identify our feelings? How do we know to handle them, to express them? A lot of times we're taught to suppress our feelings, to deny our feelings, and to do the right thing. One thing that you can do that will help you to move from a situation where you're doing everything to a state of being is pick an individual. Choose somebody that you get along with pretty good, like a friend or a close family member. And sit down facing one another, and you start by saying, when you, and then there's a blank, and you fill in that blank. So when you talk fast, or when you make that funny face, or when you say this or that, you start with that. When you blank, I feel blank. And then you identify the feelings. And those feelings, sometimes people will say something like, oh, you look like you lost a little weight this time. Now, they might be thinking that that's a compliment or something that's a nice thing to say. But you might feel that it's derogatory. You might feel that it's a put down. You might feel that it's hurtful. You might feel that it's makes you sad or frustrated because you've been, this weight might be something that's just an issue with you, and it creates all sorts of emotions. Or somebody might say, how'd your school go today? And if you mention you had a test and they ask you what you got on the test, and they say, oh, well, you can do better, or you'll do better next time. You might have feelings that you don't share with the other person. And the other person is feeling that they've been helpful, that they're being supportive, that they're being loving, and you're feeling like you're being chastised, criticized, put down, not living up to their expectations, disappointing them, and there could be a whole bunch of unpleasant feelings there. Now, one of the rules when you do this is that the person you're speaking to cannot respond to anything you say. So you can say, when you blank, I feel blank, the other person can't say anything. Because this isn't about being right or being wrong. You're not saying the other person is wrong. And when the other person were to say, oh, I had no idea that's how you felt, then it's back to that right and wrong thing. And we want to get away from that, because feelings are not right or wrong. Feelings are the way your heart interacts with the event or the person, or both. And we have to get away from feelings being good or bad, right or wrong. The judgment has to be totally eliminated when it comes to feelings. Because the minute either you put a judgment on it or the other person puts a judgment on it, your feeling loses its validity. You start to modify your feelings. And before we go about modifying feelings, we need to understand our feelings. Because feelings are good. They're healthy. They're natural. They're normal. And that's all feelings. Feelings that have been labeled good or bad. All the feelings have validity. In our world of doing, we have chosen not to address feelings because they do not fit into those nice little do boxes. Do this and do that. A feeling is an energy of itself. And that energy is a part of you. So first of all, we have to get in touch with our feelings. And when you do this process, when you do or say blank, I feel blank, you're getting in touch with your feelings. And when you start with somebody you know and you're close to, it reduces the likelihood of any conflict. And then as you become more comfortable with your feelings, as you understand and discover your feelings, because there's very few people in our do world that are in touch with their feelings.